100 years ago, Indian wrestlers were developing extraordinary strength with almost no equipment. Their shoulders stayed functional, their grip was legendary, their bodies remained capable long after many modern athletes would break down. The system was called Pelwani, and its focus was different from most training today. Instead of chasing bigger numbers, it prioritized healthy joints, strong tendons, mobility, and long-term durability. I decided to test 8 of these traditional exercises for myself. What I discovered was surprisingly relevant today. Let me guess, you have spent years doing bench press, overhead press, and machine flies, thinking your shoulders were getting bulletproof. Meanwhile, your rotator cuff has been sitting in the corner like the forgotten employee nobody checks on until something breaks. That is where the Hindu push-up comes in. Start in a downward dog position, lower your chest in a smooth arc, glide forward, and finish in a cobra position. Then reverse the entire movement back the same way. That return phase is the secret sauce. It places controlled eccentric tension on the rotator cuff and the small stabilizers around the shoulder blade. Over time, this can improve shoulder durability, posture, and overall mobility. Just do not crank your lower back into a dramatic yoga audition at the bottom. Squeeze your glutes, keep your elbows under control, and move slowly. 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, 3 times per week, is a great start. Now, let us talk about the Hindu squat, or Baitak, a movement that looks strange to many gym goers, but has been used by wrestlers for generations. Unlike the typical squat, you lean slightly forward, swing your arms, descend all the way down, and allow your heels to rise naturally. Some wrestlers performed 500 reps a day just as a warm-up. Sounds crazy, but there is a reason. Deep knee flexion helps move synovial fluid through the joint, which nourishes cartilage. Cartilage does not have its own blood supply, so movement matters. The patellar tendon also receives more meaningful loading in deep ranges, while endless partial reps can leave weak links behind. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, swing your arms back as you descend, then forward as you drive up. Avoid stopping at parallel, rushing through reps, or forgetting your breathing. Start with 3 sets of 15 reps, 3 times weekly. Aim for 50 continuous reps. Next is Surya Namaskar, also known as the sun salutation. Most people hear that name and immediately think yoga class. Indian wrestlers saw something different. They used it as a full-body conditioning tool that kept them strong, mobile, and capable well into later life. The sequence flows from standing to a forward fold, into plank, chaturanga, cobra, downward dog, and back to standing. Every transition matches your breathing, turning movement into a rhythm. Your legs, glutes, shoulders, chest, triceps, upper back, core, and spinal stabilizers all get involved. It improves mobility through the hips, shoulders, and spine, while encouraging better circulation through constant changes in body position. It also builds muscular endurance without beating up your joints. If you are over 40, sit all day, or wake up feeling like a rusty garage door, this one matters. Start with 5 rounds, build to 10, and eventually 20 or more. Move smoothly and breathe. Now we get to one of the coolest tools in the entire Pelwani system, the Gada. Imagine a mace with most of the weight sitting far from your hands. Suddenly, every swing feels less like lifting a weight and more like negotiating with gravity. Unlike a barbell or dumbbell, the Gada constantly pulls your body off balance, forcing your shoulders, core, grip, and hips to work together. Hold the end of the handle, swing it smoothly behind your head, circle over one shoulder, then bring it back under control. No jerking, no ego lifting. This movement trains rotational power that carries over to wrestling, boxing, and other combat sports. It also challenges the rotator cuff, forearms, wrists, and spinal stabilizers in ways most gym routines never touch. Start light, around 4 to 6 kilograms, and focus on control. 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps per side can build stronger shoulders, grip, mobility, and coordination. If the Gada is the king of rotational strength, Jori might be the king of shoulder endurance. These heavy wooden clubs have been used by Indian wrestlers for centuries, and some weigh far more than most people expect. The goal is not showing off a 1-rep max. The goal is building durable shoulders, crushing grip strength, and full body coordination. Hold a club in each hand and swing them in controlled circles around your shoulders. Sounds simple until the momentum starts pulling you in every direction. Suddenly, your shoulders, forearms, wrists, upper back, and core are all working overtime. Jory also targets the rotator cuff, a muscle group many lifters ignore until pain shows up uninvited. Long sets build endurance, while constant adjustments improve posture and shoulder stability. Start with light clubs, a wooden stick, or even water bottles. Train 2 or 3 times weekly and focus on smooth control. Your shoulders will thank you later. If Dand is the king of pushing exercises, Samtola is the undisputed king of pulling. This traditional Indian wrestler pull-up was considered one of the most important tests of upper body strength in the entire Pelwani system. Why? Because it does more than build muscle. It develops grip strength, relative strength, and the ability to control your own body weight. The movement is simple. Hang from a bar, pull yourself up until your chest approaches the bar, then lower yourself under complete control. Some wrestlers make it even harder by using towels, ropes, or thick handles. Suddenly, your forearms start negotiating for mercy. Samtola targets the lats, traps, rhomboids, biceps, forearms, and core all at once. It builds a wider back, stronger pulling power, and real-world strength useful for climbing, carrying, and grappling. Train it 3 times per week for 3 to 5 sets of 5 to 15 reps. Simple movement, serious results. No fancy machines required, ever. Now we arrive at one of the most unusual tools in traditional Indian wrestling, the garnal. Imagine a massive stone or metal ring resting around your neck. Some versions weighed 20, 40, even 60 kilograms or more. Sounds uncomfortable? That is exactly why it works. The goal is not showing off. The goal is teaching your body how to handle load. Wrestlers would wear a garnal while walking, standing, or performing Hindu squats. This challenges the neck, traps, shoulders, upper back, and core simultaneously. A stronger neck can help reduce injury risk in wrestling, grappling, and contact sports. Meanwhile, the traps grow thicker, and the entire posture system learns to resist collapse. Think of it as structural training rather than muscle training. If you are new, do not start with a giant neck ring. Use a light sandbag or weighted vest instead. Train 2 or 3 times per week for 30 to 90 seconds. Build durability first, then strength follows naturally. The final exercise is Dambal Rumali, and this one feels less like traditional strength training and more like teaching your body to move as a single unit. Using a stone or metal weight, you swing it in large circular patterns around your head or across the front of your body while maintaining a steady rhythm. The movement never really stops. That is what makes it special. Your shoulders, chest, lats, upper back, core, forearms, wrists, and grip all work together through continuous motion. Unlike many gym exercises that isolate one area at a time, Dambal Rumali trains coordination between the hips, core, shoulders, and hands. It develops rotational power, improves shoulder mobility, and builds the kind of endurance that keeps producing force long after most people gas out. Train it 2 or 3 times per week for 2 to 4 sets of 10 to 20 circles each direction. Strength, rhythm, control, and conditioning, all in one movement. The real lesson from Pelwani is not how strong you can become this year. It is how capable you can remain for the next 30 years. These wrestlers trained for healthy joints, resilient tendons, crushing grip strength, mobility, and movement that lasted into their 60s and beyond. No fancy machines, no complicated programs, just a handful of proven exercises. Try them consistently for 30 days and pay attention to your shoulders, wrists, lower back, joints, and overall movement quality. You may be surprised.